Yeah, check 1 2, check 1 2. Is this mic on? Is this mic on? Hey, listen, man. It's the one and only trendsetter DJ Sense, and you're listening to CockTales. Dirty discussions with Kiki and Medinah Monroe. Yeah.
Today's cocktail is called a winter mimosa. You need pomegranate juice and some Prosecco. To make a winter mimosa, you're going to add some champagne and the pomegranate juice in a champagne flute, garnish with pomegranate seeds, and enjoy. And that is a winter mimosa. I love pomegranates.
I do too. I think it's kind of a daunting task to peel them and get all the little arrows out, but I love them. I like to put them on salad. Sometimes I just chew up that little hard part.
I like just chew them on up.
Anyway, welcome back to Cocktail Dirty Discussions, you guys.
Hey, y'all.
What have you been up to?
Girl, this has been, you know how you have when you read, like, I don't know if you follow any of the Law of Attraction, like Instagram pages, or read the books, or do like a quote of the day, just uplifting yourself because you have moments of, not when you're just not feeling good. This was one of those weeks for me where it just wasn't, I don't know, I feel just kind of like off balanced, not happy. Like everything is, normally I'm a very optimistic person. This just wasn't one of those weeks for me. And so this week I've been trying to like just get back in a positive space. And it's just difficult. And it's one of those things where it's like, well, what's wrong? I don't even know what's wrong.
I know exactly what you mean. I've been having a week like that too. I know part of it is because my nails aren't done. I don't know who's going to do my hair next week.
And maybe
I'm feeling
that's
ashy.
what it is.
Yeah, because sometimes when I am feeling a little busted, it just fucks up everything. And it's funny because this morning, this guy was at my place, right? And
like he was doing maintenance?
No.
Oh, okay.
He had been an invited guest. He low-key invited himself, but that's beside the point. Anyway, he was trying to take me out today. And he was like, can we go see this movie? And I was like, yeah, but today just really isn't a good day. Like, I woke up at 7 and I'm already behind. So it's just, it would have to be late tonight. And I just don't know if I'm going to be up to it. I still got other stuff to do. So he's asking me all these questions. And I was just like, and then he's like trying to flirt and all of this other stuff. I said, hold on. Why are you so worried about this? And then you're starting to get an attitude with me because I'm not excited to do whatever. But what did you do in this situation to try and help me? I told you I was stressed. I told you I was feeling overwhelmed. I've been saying this all week. I need help with things. You didn't offer any help. You took out my trash. That's wasn't full. So it could have waited. I have lots of other things that you can actually see that need to be done. And sometimes just everybody, this is for the men and the women. Sometimes, if you notice somebody that you're interested in, you're dating or whatever, is feeling a little stressed and they're not as excited to see you, or maybe they're not going on these plans, why don't you ask them, hey, I feel like you've been stressed out and sad or whatever lately. Is there anything I can do to help? What can I do to help? And then do the thing. If you see the things, maybe just take the initiative because maybe they don't have a second to even think about what you could actually do right. That kind of shit is frustrating.
I feel you on that. There was a man that I used to date, and he wouldn't even ask, like, what exactly do you need? But he would always just make sure I was fed.
That is so simple.
I was like, that's so sweet. And even if I wasn't hungry at the moment, I would be like, oh, dang, I do have food at home. Like, I forgot he ordered me some Uber Eats. That's so sweet and affordable.
Yeah, and that was one of my frustrations today. And then I just started screaming because I was like, fuck, I want to eat. I'm hungry. I don't have time to go anywhere else. I'm going to have to order it. I hope that they can follow the instructions. Am I going to be able to eat today?
I actually did not eat today. So I've been talking all day. I had recordings earlier in the day. I went and got my hair done. It kind of took long.
Of course you did.
I hope you don't hear that. When you do voiceovers, you can't eat most things when you're going to do the voices because it picks up the clicks and the spit and then they hear it. Stuff. Yeah. And I'm hungry. And that might also be another one of my reasons why I have a bad attitude throughout the week.
Yeah, the hunger is always going to trump everything. And it's just like, I want to cry. I was like, my head is hurting. Then I was like, I haven't had anything since early this morning. So it's one of those weeks. Y'all pray for us, please.
Yeah, next week is a new week. It is. Hopefully I will shake this little nasty feeling that I'm feeling and get back into it.
Yeah, I think I'm probably just gonna bury my feelings in food, like ice cream.
Ooh.
I would like a scoop of Jenny's, and I hope they're open late. So just like a scoop of Jenny's, and I'm going to bed.
What you like from Jenny's? What's your favorite flavor?
Brown butter almond brittle.
Mine is coffee. I love the coffee.
I do like coffee ice cream, but I just love that brown butter with the little bits in there. Ooh, it's so
Jenny's.
good. Yes.
Well, if you, like me this week, are feeling down and just not yourself, kind of just being negative, I am hosting a yoga retreat, wellness retreat, and we're going to Bali May 27th through June 3rd. I think they still have the early bird prices up, so sign up. Go to paradiseandvibe.com. Sign up for Bali. You must be fully vaccinated to enter Bali, and if anything changes, I will let y'all know. You'll probably get an email if you're already signed up. But make sure you guys join. It'll be a great way to get your feelings intact and get some emotions off your chest.
And if you are going to do something irresponsible, like I said earlier, bury yourself in food, buy my cookbook, Klassy Baste. If you go to www.klassybaste, that's KLASSYBASTE.com, you can purchase your copy of Klassy Baste. I also have individual recipes on there for $1. I have the digital download of the whole book, and then you can buy a physical copy of the book. And also sign up on Patreon. It's patreon.com/CockTales. We release bonus content. You get early access to tickets and just other stuff. And sometimes we do lives with all of the patrons. Those are usually pretty fun. We didn't do it for
November.
Because
the last Thursday of the month fell on Thanksgiving.
Yeah. And then... Yeah, so just sign up and we post about things and we get to communicate with you guys a little bit more. And it's a fun little group. People start to get to know each other. Mm-hmm. It's an excellent community. Join us over there on Patreon. Also, get your merch. We have shirts available and we have card games available. I'm Curious to Know. If you go to I'mCuriousToKnow.com, you can make your purchases there. We are also going on tour. 2023 is the Dirty Little Secrets Tour, and we are having a lot of stops. We start off in Charleston, South Carolina. If you haven't gotten your tickets yet, please do. That's going to be a great time. That is January 26th.
Mm-hmm. Then after that, we have a specialty show. It'll be in Atlanta, February 10th and 11th at the City Winery.
Mm-hmm. And then we are going to LA. We'll be at the Regent Theater. I believe that is February 23rd in LA. I'm really excited about the LA show.
I am too, especially since we've never been to the West Coast. And I just love LA in general. And when you get to LA, it's like you just automatically feel like a star. Like a classic. I just step off and feel like Marilyn Monroe.
Okay, I don't know about that.
There's no driver. There's no luxurious hotel. I just feel like LA brings that to you.
Okay, well, it's going to be a great time, and we can't wait to see you guys out there in Cali.
Can't wait. Then on March 2nd, we're heading over to Nashville.
And we will be at the City Winery in Nashville. And then on March 9th, we'll be in Orlando, Florida, at Orlando Improv.
And then we going to Miami on March 16th at the Miami Improv. I can't wait for that one. I used to live in Miami and I used to love it.
And then on March 24th, we will be in Pontiac, Michigan at the Crowfoot Ballroom.
April 8th, we're in Seattle at the Crocodile.
And then April 15th, we're in Toronto at the Royal Theater.
And then we taking it home, baby. May 20th, we'll be in Dallas at the Studio at the Factory. And I'm really excited about that show because I just want to see if any of our old high school classmates are going to show up.
I'm sure they will.
Maybe a principal.
A principal?
Would that be odd?
Yes, that would be really weird.
We'd be like, Mr.
But
Sheen.
I feel like some of our old teachers, I know Miss Moravec.
She bet not.
She messaged me and she said she wants to come. I think she would. I wonder what her reaction would be. Oh, my Lord.
Oh, my word. She said, oh, my word. If we look out into that audience in Dallas and see old teachers, could you imagine Miss Moravec and Miss Luckett? I would be like, oh, my gosh.
Oh, that would be an interesting time. Anyway, get your tickets. The link is in the description so that you can buy them. They're all on the different venues websites. So come out, tag us when you purchase your tickets. Let us know what city you're coming to. Too much. Anyway, if you're also interested in sponsorship of any of these shows or all of them, that would be great. Then you can send us an email. We have excellent sponsorship packages available. Mm-hmm. And on that note, we can move on to weird sex.
You said a man is not a necessity, a man is a luxury.
Like dessert. Yeah. A man is absolutely not a necessity.
Did you mean that to sound mean and bitter?
Oh, not at all. I adore dessert. I love men. I think men are the coolest. But you don't really need them to live.
Okay, so you guys, this week's Weird Sex is about a woman who, I guess she just had enough. So, what is her name? Cassandra Gutierrez went out with her man one night back in November, and they were in San Antonio, Texas. So, she's 30. Her man is 42. I don't know why that was relevant, but it's in the news story. So, anyway, she confronted him because I guess she was sick and tired of being sick and tired, and they had an argument about him not paying her bills.
Oh, okay. Well,
Yeah. He hasn't been helping with the bills. So the situation escalated, and allegedly she grabbed a kitchen knife and stabbed him multiple times in the neck, right hand, his leg, and his back. After running away and calling for help, the man was met by police at the apartment's leasing office. He was bleeding profusely and left a blood trail. He was transported to a local hospital in stable condition, so she didn't kill him. Gutierrez was arrested the same day after police obtained an arrest warrant. She was taken into custody and remains at the Bexar County Jail on a $75,000 bond. She was charged with aggravated assault with a deadly weapon, a second-degree felony. Now, I would like to know, not that this is okay, because it absolutely is
It's not.
but he must have been out getting drunk and not looking for jobs again. And she's like, you live with me in my
Okay, so they
shit.
live together.
I
She
don't
didn't just
know.
want him to pay her bills. Because
I don't know. We have to wait until it all comes out in court. She ain't said nothing. She just got locked up last week. It's going to be a while. But I'm wondering, like, did you just want him to support you while he wasn't there? Or is it like he's taking advantage?
Yeah, you were supporting him and you just sick of it.
That could go a lot of different ways. I'll have to update you guys later on this case because what the fuck? You can't just get all stabby because
can't get
things aren't going
stabby.
your way. And why would you let him come stay with you anyway if he wouldn't? I don't know, but I don't even know who to say good luck to. I hope he has a speedy recovery.
Yeah. Have you ever stabbed somebody? Me
I have
neither.
definitely thought about it though.
Yeah. I never really think of stabbing someone. I think more of like punching you in your throat or pushing you off a cliff. Something like that. Not a stab.
Pushing them off the cliff is so different than stabbing. Punching, sure, but pushes off a cliff.
Off a cliff. Ain't that crazy how sometimes your mind goes to those dark places?
It really is.
Listen.
And that's why I have a good grasp on reality to be like, whoo, this is real life, not a virtual reality.
That
game.
is also why I don't do toxic relationships anymore. The second I see some toxicity, it's a wrap. I can't do it no more. Because you ever had someone get you to a point of like, we could have went to jail?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The most I've done is just cause a scene. And I don't even like that.
In public?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I want to know.
No, what? We were arguing. It was just an argument.
Oh, okay.
But it's just like very loud and we're screaming back and forth at each other.
Y'all were those people and everybody was looking like, ooh.
What's going on? Yeah. And then I was tempted to turn around and just tell everybody so they would know. And I wanted them to pick sides.
And then it's crazy because nowadays, doing stuff like that, you might find a video of yourself floating around acting crazy on the Instagram.
Yeah.
I would be mortified if that ever happened to me. You
That would
didn't
be
know.
so
You just wake up
embarrassing.
to all of these ping, ping, ding,
You're on the
like,
shade
what's going
room.
on? You're like, somebody saw that and recorded it? Fuck
Now I'm
y'all.
the topic of so many other podcasts and everything else. And I'm about to be a meme. And this is why you don't date toxic women. Well, y'all don't even know what he did to me to get me here.
Right. There's a reason why I done snapped off like this. I promise there is.
Anyway, thank you guys for sending those stories in or that story in. Please continue to do so because I be needing y'all help.
Okay, so we'll dive into some of this week's topics. You know, it's funny because we've never really talked about things like this on the show, but I wanted us to kind of go back and forth on some fun or weird facts about yourself and myself. Do you have any like fun facts that people don't know or weird or
What
just things that you do? I'll give an example.
Okay.
So this is maybe not this is weird. I don't know if it's a fact. That's just what I titled it. But one thing that I have to do, like I have a craving to do it, is this is so weird. I have to dig my toenails before I go to sleep into the bed. It's so weird, Kiki. I have this throbbing feeling in my toes and I have to like push them into the bed. And the same with my nails. I have to like pinch them. And so sometimes if I'm like with a man and we're like laying down on the couch, let's say we're holding hands, I'll be like, can you press my fingers? It's crazy. It has nothing to do with the fake nails or if I have real nails or fake nails on. I need you to push it as hard as you can, each one. And it gives me this sensation in my body, almost like sex. It feels so good. Let me not say like sex. It feels like when you're getting a pedicure and the lady is like, if you have an ingrown toenail and they dig it out the side, that's what it feels like. And then when they get it, it feels good. But it kind of hurts a little.
It just hurts to me.
You don't think that feels good?
No, it hurts.
Oh, girl, sometimes I lie and say I have an ingrown toenail just so they're digging in my toes.
And so they just go digging for
and they're
toenails.
just digging. They're like, got it? I'm like, not yet. You didn't get it yet.
The things that I was thinking of, like, I like to organize my spices and that's it. I'm trying to think of something fun or weird. I'm honestly not that interesting, I guess.
Like, you don't have any weird things that you do in private?
Not off the top of my... I'm really trying to think about...
I thought we were going to be pinging back and forth. I was like,
I wish I would have had time to look at this earlier so I could have asked some other people because I'm sure that there's something that I do that's a little weird, but I don't know what it is. I think I can just be really particular about things.
Mm-hmm. Do you like any weird smells? I like the smell of chlorine. I like the way that swimming pool smells. No, is this weird? Do you guys think this is weird?
Bleach.
Not bleach, it's chlorine.
I hear you, but it's just like a bleachy smell. I know.
It's two different smells. I don't like the smell of bleach. I like the smell of specifically swimming pool.
What is it about the smell of the swimming pool? What is it, like a soothing smell? Do you feel like you're about to go kick it at the pool? What's happening?
I don't know. I like the way it makes me feel. And maybe it does make me think of, I don't know what it can make me feel, because I was about to say, I also like the smell of sunblock. It makes me think of camp and Girl Scouts and childhood, but I love when I smell it. I'm like, I just wish I could grab up all these kids and smell them. I love the way sunblock smells too. Really? You don't like it?
I mean, sunblock doesn't bother me. Oh. That smell doesn't bother me at all. It's just, I've never really thought that much about sunblock. I don't like to use Jergens Cherry Almond Lotion, the original scent.
Bitch,
but
I love
the smell of it.
I keep a bottle on deck all the time because I love it.
It's too watery.
It's nostalgic though. It's something about that smell.
Why do we all have Jergens?
Why do we all
I like the smell of baby lotion too.
Now, I don't like, it smells like baby poop. I don't like the smell of baby oil, baby. I'd be like, y'all running around smelling like poop.
It doesn't smell like poop. What kind of poop you got?
It smells like baby poop. That's what
Baby poop smells like shit.
That's what
Now, okay, this is something I just thought about. Because I have bad dandruff, right? Mm-hmm. This is kind of gross, more so than anything else. But sometimes when I'm getting my dandruff, I will get like a fine rat tooth comb, right? Mm-hmm. And it's always really bad right here. Mm-hmm. Don't look at my nails. It's always bad right here.
We're struggling and last week and next week.
Okay, I had to put on my Beyonce shirt to just remind me to stay strong and don't let nobody break your soul today.
You won't break our soul.
But you are also going to break my soul if you don't tell us when you're going on tour. What the fuck? Anyway, so I'll get the comb and I'll put the comb like right here and I want to see the flakes because it's some big ass flakes, like snowflakes, like the kind you made in school. And so then I like to look at them and just examine them. I also really enjoy watching videos, a lot of these videos on my Instagram. I like to see like the Dr. Pimple Popper stuff. I love to see
That's disgusting. You have the nerve to look at me crazy about Clorox.
Well, I just thought that was odd because the pool doesn't smell so bad, but it's just like a good smell. I don't know. But I like to watch that. I like to see the ingrown hairs, especially when they're really long. And it's like you get that out and the gunk. I love looking when I do the Biore pore strips. I'm going to look at it and see what just came out of my nose. I had a microscope as a kid, and I used to want to like just look at things bigger so I could really see them.
When I was a kid, I used to put glue on my hands and rub it together and let it dry and just really be sitting there and peeling it. Just peeling it and do it again. Mm-hmm. I would do it at night before I go to sleep. I know parents be like, why are you wasting the Elmers?
Okay.
Go to
Why?
bed.
You're supposed to be asleep. Turn everything off. Read a book, and that's it. Why do you have glue? Are you doing arts and crafts projects? My mama said she was babysitting my nieces yesterday, and she was like, girl, I don't know what happened. I think they were doing arts and crafts in the bathroom. I said, in the bathroom?
Why in the bathroom?
I don't know, but she said they had some fabric and some pearls and some glue and some scissors and nail polish and my sister's makeup. And she was like, but that's really none of my business. I said, yes, it is your babysitting. She was like, oh, shit, I guess I was.
See, ain't nobody watching my kids.
What is going on over there? She was like, they were so quiet, so I had to go check on them. And it's a mess, girl, but they're all right. Kids do just get into things.
Kids just be doing what they want.
What else do I like to watch? I like surgery videos too.
I remember when I was
Any sort.
It depends for me. Like have you ever watched the bunion removal surgery?
Yes.
I watched that and I was obsessed with it because I was getting my
Some want that
bunions
bad.
removed. Yeah, and I was like, what are they gonna do to me? And I was watching it, and then I was like, surprisingly though, I can't watch them to the end. Even the breast implant surgeries, I couldn't watch it till the end.
Why?
It just was too nasty.
Oh, I love seeing all that stuff. Honestly, if I could have one, stayed focused, two, done better in math and science, I would have liked to have been a cosmetic surgeon or some sort of surgeon. But all them science and math classes, I just knew I'm not even about to play myself or my parent. Well, not my parents' money because they ain't have none of the student loans. I wasn't about to play with that.
So responsible.
I was gonna fail. That was gonna be embarrassing. It was more so about that than anything else, which I wanted to be able to finish. You know?
Another thing that I like to watch. To me, this isn't weird. You maybe have done this too, maybe not. I every now and again, this is like on a monthly basis, I get on YouTube and I watch whoever sang the Star Spangled Banner.
Why would you think that I maybe do this too?
Because
of all the things that I'm watching.
And I will sit here. I always, first of all, I either start or end with Whitney, sometimes both, because that bitch is amazing.
That is a good Star Spangled Banner.
Girl, I be like, no one in this world has ever topped her. I saw somewhere on the internet today, it's not
J-Lo?
today that you're, girl, I said this
That's a
has to be a joke. Okay, I wonder if
that
J-Lo,
shit was so funny.
I
It
was
was
like,
one of
there's
those
no
fake
way.
accounts that looks like it's a real account.
I hope J-Lo, you think she thought that was funny? Because there's no way she did. Everybody was in
I
them
think my
comments
feelings
like,
were hurt.
they had to be.
But she has to know.
I was about to say, unless she knows she can't sing. Like, there are a few singers where they're singers and we love them, but they can't sing. J-Lo's one of them, Sierra. We like them, but it's like, bitch,
I think a lot of the people don't know. I know Cassie knows.
you think she knows? You think she be in her family and they're like, Cassie
is like, I'm a bad bitch, and if they gonna give me a deal, I'm gonna get out here and do it.
I
And
would
she
do the
did.
same. I said, what if Diddy hit you up and was like, hey, look, I can put some autotune behind your voice. We have a couple songs written. We want you to sing.
I'm in the studio right now. Let's do it.
I wish somebody would discover me
not
like
Diddy,
that.
because I ain't gonna really get paid. You know how he do. I might get famous,
And you might date him and get what he has.
and I'm gonna ride that wave as long as I can.
You think that relationship is real?
Hell no. I
Okay.
think it's for benefit to the both of them.
Okay.
And I'm not mad at it.
Me neither. Do what you got to do. I'm not
The
judging.
city girls
not
are
nan
city
nobody.
girling, and I love it. I don't think I have any other weird thing. I know you got more.
No, I don't
I'm
have.
trying to
I'm
think if
sure
I've-
I do, but I don't have any right
I'm trying to think
now.
if I ever get embarrassed because somebody caught me doing something. This is weird. I talk to myself a lot, but out loud.
Now I have an embarrassing moment that I hope never surfaces. Hannah used to have a laptop, and I didn't have a laptop, and we were living together, and I was using her laptop, and I turned on the video recorder, and I started acting out a scene that had never happened in life ever.
Okay, I do that.
Okay, you've done,
Not
and
on
it was
the computer necessarily,
I don't
but
know.
I'll do it.
Girl, I
And
did.
then I had to be like, "Whoa,
But
calm down."
right,
This is
I was
not
crying.
real.
It was a real scene, as if
Oh,
a script
yeah.
had been written. I was multiple different characters. And
I changed my voice. Did you change your
girl
voice?
changed my voice. I was a doctor. My sister had died. They were delivering the news to me, and I was like, "What?
There's
Who
always
did
a
it?"
scandal.
Yeah, and it was like,
Sometimes I do it two ways. Well, a few ways really. Sometimes it's it's happening in real time. Sometimes I do it like a movie and start. Dun, 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 dun. You know how they have
you
little
started
music?
some theme music?
Yeah, just to
I ain't never
transition
did
the
that.
scenes. And then this is usually on a road trip. I can't take road trips anymore. I get too distracted, might end up in a ditch. But then the other way I like to do it, because I like to listen to audiobooks, is I will say, and then Karen said, and do it like it's a book. And she looked at him with her dark eyes. They were so dark, I don't know, Sleepy Hollow. And I just go on and on and on, and I just change up stuff. I'm like, bitch, what are you doing?
What are you doing? I'm always like, if this really was, I can't remember what that Jim Carrey movie was when he didn't know that the cameras were on him.
The Truman Show.
The Truman Show. I really think people would be like, okay, somebody tell her. Tell her the cameras are on her because this is getting weird.
Yeah.
Just
I would be so embarrassed. I have like been thinking about something that somebody was around and I forgot that they were there, right? And I just have a flashback, like That's So Raven, but it's a flashback, not the future, of like an embarrassing moment. And then I start talking to myself like, bitch, why you do that?
I hate flashbacks.
Oh, I hate when I
of
do that. They'd be like,
embarrassing
what? And I'm like, nothing. I was reading something on Instagram.
That is so good. I've definitely done that. And it's like, oh, shit,
What are you doing? I'm like, this is so weird. Why are you doing this?
It's weird.
I did it and then I'm getting embarrassed, whether somebody else was there or not.
But the crazy thing is that embarrassing feeling is worse than when it actually happened. When you relive it, you feel more embarrassed.
Yeah, because sometimes it's like you were embarrassed, but nobody else caught it. So that embarrassing isn't so bad. But you just keep playing it, it gets worse and worse and worse. Yeah.
Yeah, well, if we ever have more fun, weird facts, I think we should share them with the show because it's funny.
Okay, now I'm going to be really thinking. And I'm going to ask some people. So I'll have something next time to come back with like, oh, they said I'd do this. And
Yeah.
yeah. So the other day I was thinking, I was watching something. I don't know. I'm probably actually was having a scenario because I can't think of where I saw this in real life. So I think it was one of my head case things coming to life. But you know how like we give broke niggas a hard time, right?
Yeah.
And not just us, lots of people. And we know that y'all don't want to be broke. And I just had a flashback to my broke days. And I said, you know what? We should talk about our experiences being broke. And just like things we went through and stuff like that. Because sometimes I think that the further away you get from it, sometimes people forget. I don't forget. I think about it every now and then, but I'm also a person where it's like, I don't want to harp on the past or the negative past. You know, it's like, okay, well, yeah, that's part of my story and I came from that, but I feel like how can you go forward if you always stuck on that? I have one friend, every time we get together, she loves to talk about being broke. Bitch, I don't like to talk about being broke all the time because
Is she still in that space?
Probably. I don't know. She be saying, who knows? It's giving yes. But it's just like, why do you always want to go back and talk about that? But today I do want to talk about it.
You're like, but
Because
today we live in the past.
Yes, today we can chat about it for a few minutes because it is like
It's life.
being broke was such a hard time. And it lasted way longer. It's like when I was little, I thought that by the time I turned 30, shit would be figured out.
Bitch.
Was I wrong?
Not only did I think shit would be figured out, I thought I would be married. I thought I would have a home. And I thought I was going to somehow look like Aaliyah. I thought my face was going to transform.
I was with you until that last part. Why did you think you were going to look like... And at what age did you realize the Aaliyah part isn't going to happen?
I realized it, you know, late in life. I was like, I'm never going to look like, probably like 27. I don't know why I thought that, but yeah, I definitely thought I would have it figured out. And now being, you know, 30, I'm like, I couldn't imagine being fucking married. But the broke shit, it's really interesting because I feel like how you said it lasted long. I definitely feel like my broke days lasted long. I'm not going to act like I'm so far removed from it.
Yeah, I mean, a few bad things can happen and I'll be right back. Right back. Like,
I have PTSD from, you know, sometimes being, we're laughing about it now, but when I was in
we made it through
the moments of really not having a plan, not having no money, not really having any help, and not because like my family doesn't support me, but because I don't come from a rich family.
Me either.
Yes, I'm talking to the people. Sometimes people think because I rode horses that we came from money, but my parents just always made a way to make shit happen. And I worked on a farm when I was a kid to get horseback riding lessons. And so being broke, I remember when me and Sade, you remember Sade? We lived together in our apartment, and I guess we're just gonna toss broke stories back and forth.
Okay.
Which I remember when we never had groceries, and we lived off Bankhead. It wasn't off Bankhead. I can't remember what that street was, but remember it was over there by that bank.
Like West Marietta.
Yeah.
What do we have to go to? And
by
then
the
other
bluff.
street.
It was by the bluff. And us not being from Atlanta, we didn't even realize it was a rough area. But the rent was it was cheap, but we were still struggling. Kiara, I remember one time we didn't have no groceries. And all that was in the refrigerator was some hot dog buns and some mayonnaise and some pickles. And I was so hungry. I went
Hot dog buns, mayonnaise,
and some pickles, the extra crispy hamburger pickles. And I think we had some salt and pepper. Yeah, we did. I'm not going to act like I don't know the recipe. Maybe you want to put this in Klassy Baste. I went and I was so sad, and I didn't want to ask anyone for help because I felt like I'm at this age where like I shouldn't be asking for help, and I'm embarrassed. When you don't have no money, sometimes you'll be embarrassed because when you ask for the help, sometimes people are like, well, what are you doing? Well, why are you, last time I gave you this.
Bitch, I am down right now, and I came to you and asked, we don't have time for a lecture. Can we get some food first, and then we can think this through?
Yeah, girl, well, the food that, Sade wasn't there. I think she was out of town. I had toasted the hot dog buns and put the mayonnaise on it and put the pickles on it and salt and pepper and just imagine the hot dog being there.
You eat mayonnaise with your hot dog?
I love mayonnaise on my hot dogs. I think it's a broke thing. I like putting mayonnaise on a burnt hot dog.
I like a burnt hot dog, period.
You put ketchup and mustard?
Mustard.
You got to try a little mayonnaise.
Or barbecue sauce.
Oh, I love a little barbecue sauce. But yeah, that was a rough night. I was sitting there, I was really just eating mayonnaise bread. And I was like, this is crazy that I'm doing this. And there are like people that want to take me out and other friends that I know that are in good positions. Even though it's my early 20s, I was just like, I can't believe that this is where I'm at in life. And I never thought I would be eating imaginary hot dogs. It was really sad.
That is sad. I'm not laughing at you. I'm laughing with you since you're not in it no more. But that is crazy. An imaginary hot dog with fucking mayonnaise and pickles. Like, I wonder, I don't really like mayonnaise unless it's with something else. So I'm just wondering how that tastes. But let me not get too
I'm going to bring it in
food.
one day for the studio.
Girl, save your money. Don't that shit is gonna be in the trash. You can feed it to a stray dog or something. Give it to the people outside.
I used to sit in the bathtub and just cry and listen to TD Jakes. I'm not even religious.
He be scaring me sometimes because when he starts to really
wake up when
he's screaming. I was at my homegirl's house not too long ago, and she was like watching a sermon, and I was like, "What is this scary movie you're watching with your baby?" And I was like, "Oh, it's TD Jakes." He was just in it deep, and I was like, "This is probably a great message, but you cannot walk in on the middle of that." I remember there's so many times. I remember one day I just sat in the middle of the driveway at the house I was staying at. So when I first moved here, I packed up everything I could fit in my car. Y'all, I used to have this ugly ass little PT Cruiser, and I know I did not. Yes, and it was literally hanging on by a thread. Like I had to.
Because it used to be your mom's, right?
It was my mom. She bought it because she thought it was cute. What kind of person thinks a baby hearse is cute? And then I wanted it, but I needed a car in college, right? So she lets me take the car to college. I take it. I had hit like something in the parking garage one time when I was trying to back out of the space. Those spaces were very tight and I was late to class. So my front fender was like fucked up and the little bumper was hanging, but I just had, because it was scraping the tire. I learned a lot about cars because I had to do a lot of fixing up myself because shit was high. Anyway, so I moved out here. You helped me get a job at 255. Then I had a day job. So 255 was like a bar lounge situation, restaurant. And so I was a waitress there, and then I did that at night and on the weekends. Then I also had an office job. I had gotten it through a temp service. So I was working like all day, all night, right? And then one day my car just like gave out. It like blew a head gasket and the timing belt was fucked up and something else. And I was just like, where am I going to get the money? I asked my mom. She couldn't help me. I didn't know it at the time, but I think this is when her and my stepdad were going through a divorce. I don't know, but it was just like I didn't have any help. I was having to work. I was waiting on all my checks to come in, struggling. I was just like, I can't even do shit. People are calling me to go out and do stuff. And it's like, how am I going to get there?
We still did used to be getting there, though.
Sometimes, and then sometimes I'll be like, I can't go tonight. I just wanted to sit at home and cry. It was stressful. And it's like when I had to scrape up every last dollar I had to get the parts, get the shit fixed and everything. Finally get it fixed. I had like 13 cents in my account. What am I going to eat? Luckily, I had family here, so I never went hungry. I did not have to eat a mayonnaise sandwich, thank God, or a mayonnaise imaginary hot dog. But it's just like those moments where you sitting around breaking down. It's like I'm working all day, and then it's like the customers trying you, wanting to have attitudes, people saying shit to you on the internet or whatever, or you know when like sometimes for me, I don't know if you've ever felt like this, but sometimes when I'm so broken down and out, I don't be wanting to talk to niggas. I'm gonna have an attitude. I'm not feeling good about where I'm at. I don't have the time to entertain you. I gotta figure out my shit and grow up,
Well,
and be
see,
responsible.
My situations were always different because when in the moments, in some of my darkest moments, me dealing with men was kind of what lifted me up out of them. Like I feel like I like learned, and I'm not saying this in a way that I'm proud of it. I feel like I learned how to like manipulate men to like get
what you needed.
And honestly, it was the bare minimum. When I told that $40 hair story with Carlos, even though I can look at it and laugh, I had an interview and I needed to get my hair done. And so it was like, it really is sad. Like it was me doing that was like, okay, well, I got to get the interview. I have to get a job. I'm looking crazy.
Because I'm trying to make some changes.
Yeah, so I'm not going to lie. I was using men, not in the BDB way, in the this is...
Get by way.
Yeah, I'm not about to be working 5 jobs. So where are the niggas at? Where is y'all at?
Because I was definitely working a lot of jobs. I remember I was doing Lyft or Uber one time.
I remember.
And I was doing that. And then I remember I was so annoyed because this guy, I picked him up. He wasn't even cute. Like, even if I was doing better, I wouldn't have been talking to you. And you got a regular Lyft because I got a regular ass car. Anyway, he was like, you're too pretty to be doing this.
Those are some of the rudest things that somebody could say.
And it's like, you say that, but the moment you see me on the internet talking about niggas need to pay me for this, and just because I'm cute, you should be taking care of my bills, and that's a problem. So what am I supposed to do? Poof, be gone? Like, what? I don't know why people fix their mouths to say that. Like, everybody... Some people will go about it that way. And if that's the choice that you make, that's the choice that you make. But everybody's not trying to sell themselves and go down that path, because sometimes it's hard to get up out of that. I think about all the people who start dancing because they're trying to get through college, and then they have a hard time stopping that because the money becomes easy and fast, and it's like you get caught up in that. And then I know me. If I start doing stuff that I ain't got no business doing, I'm thinking about like drugs. It's gonna be a bad thing. I couldn't do it. Ooh. But that Uber driver didn't last long because those people was getting on my nerves, and I was wanting to cuss them out. And then it's like, you in the car with me. And then the time changed, so then it was getting dark too quick. I
remember when I started. There was a moment when I had to move back home, and I too was like, I remember you told me you did it. I was like, I'm gonna start driving Uber, and I was so sad when I was like signing it up.
Oh, you have an eyelash right here.
On my cheek?
Yeah, in towards the middle. Okay, you got it.
Okay, the lashes was like, bitch, you need to get your... Go, we broken. I remember when I had to drive for Uber, and I just remember being like, have you ever had a moment where you're like, I can't believe this is my life?
Yes. It was like every day.
Every day I would get up and be like, I cannot believe that this is my life. And then it would make me so mad when people would say things like, whether it was on the internet or just friends being like, you don't have any issues. I am not someone to really talk, even how we're sitting here talking about it right now. I don't really.
It wasn't something I was talking about in the moment, only to people who were closest to me. And even a few people, it was like, when you share those moments and then how they treat you, or the comments insensitive or just flat out rude and disrespectful, it's like, I can't talk to you, and I don't even really know if I want to be your friend.
Right. That was the moment for me when I was like signing up to drive for Uber. And it's not any, judgment towards anybody who is driving Uber, but for me it felt like I was like, wow, this is like where I'm at. And I would have like nightmares like, this is what I'm gonna be 55 doing this. And it was just really, it was stressful. I remember my brother gave me his car. I remember the white Mustang. I named that car Blake. And he gave me the car, but I didn't know that the car was like they hadn't been paying on the car. And I was like,
hell,
why would you do this to me? Remember, I got in a car accident.
Oh, I remember that whole ordeal.
Crashed that car. They were like, well, we need to tow the car. I was like, no, I can't not. Atlanta is not one of those places where you can not have, you have to have a car. Like, I get it. Some people are going to do the train and the bus, but it's not as easy as it is in like New York.
Right. They don't run as often. They're not as accessible. It's going to take you 3 hours to get to your destination.
It's going to take you 3 hours to get to your destination. And I was just like, I'm not doing that. And so I drove my little beat up, crashed up car home. And my mom was like, you cannot be doing that. I was like, yeah, but y'all didn't pay on the car, so they're going to take the car. It was just a hot ghetto mess. And so then I hit up my friend. I was about to say his name, but I won't because he probably listens. I hit up my friend. His dad had some sort of
Body
car shop. Yeah, they came and got the car. He was like, "We're not going to be able to fix the car. It's
totaled."
I remember hitting up. a friend that I knew that said, if you ever need help, just let me know. And I rarely do that. And the reason why people rarely do that is because people rarely mean that.
Exactly. And that shit hurts the worst.
It hurts the worst, especially when it's someone who has it. Not that I'm counting your pockets, but you just know. And so I hit him up, and he's someone who, like, even me, when I didn't have anything, I've always, like, helped him out in different ways. Hit him up, and I was telling him what I was going through, and I was like, if there's, like, any way that you could even, like, put me on a payment plan, and I'll pay you back, but I have to have my car. He was like, yeah, baby girl, I'm not going to be able to help you. And I was like, what?
Mm-hmm.
Are you kidding me? And I was really in Atlanta without a car. Do we sound like we're complaining about, like, it's
probably like giving first world problems, but that's the world we live in, and we're just trying to be vulnerable.
For me, not having a car, that was like a really hard part in my life. I didn't have a car, and then it was like I couldn't get to work.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to think, did I end up getting fired because I couldn't get to work on time? I can't remember, but I think I always ended up figuring it out. Like, I would always make friends with people that I work with. Like, when I started bartending in the clubs for AG, I would always make a best friend at each club so that somebody could take me or pick me up from work. And then at that time, we didn't have Uber or Lyft.
Yeah, I remember when it first got to Atlanta, and it was still like, I can't remember if it was regular Uber and Lyft when it first got here or if it was only the black cars. They were not as frequent. It's much easier now to get around. And it's also, I think it's more affordable because I know they have like different plans where it's like if you frequently use them, you can get those. So things have changed, but 10 years ago, honey, it was a different world. I've had multiple periods where I didn't have a car, and I'm just like, how do we get here? I've been paying these bills, and it's like you just live like when you're living paycheck to paycheck. And honestly, I was getting frustrated. I kept trying to like come up with ideas, and I'm like, how am I ever gonna have my break to do something else? And sometimes I would just cry because it's like I was a person who followed the rules and did the things that your parents tell you to do. Stay in school, get good grades, study, go to college, graduate. That shit, not that it can't work for some people, but they forget about how important it is, the other aspects of getting jobs, like the importance of networking and not just, oh, I'm going to meet somebody, but learning how to truly foster professional relationships and not be crossing lines and being appropriate. And this sounds like I'm just always flirting with people. I'm not, but I'm just thinking about how it goes sometimes for me and just other things that go into it. And it was one of the reasons I wanted to start this. And I remember even with this, right, with CockTales. Okay, so trying to build this show up, and then just the way that people would look at me or just kind of blow me off in the beginning, even just up until probably 2 or 3 years ago, maybe-ish. And even sometimes now, it's just like, yeah, things aren't as big and some things are a little dusty, but I'm getting started. I'm trying to do something. Why are you trying to play like you've never seen something start from the ground before? And people, now it's like they come back and it's like, oh, things are looking so great. I see you're doing so great. Somebody called me today. Nigga, fuck you.
Bye.
I'm not interested. You didn't do anything. And again, this is a person I know has it to help. And now you're in my face asking me questions about different, don't worry about it. You were not there for me before.
I feel you.
That shit is frustrating.
Yeah, the journeys be the different, even though, when you get to the other side of it, how everyone's always like, it's enjoy the journey and it's all about the journey. It really is. I can look back and say that, like, we've come a really long way. When you talk about how, like, you were the good girl and you followed all the rules, I'm kind of not completely the opposite, but somewhat the opposite. I didn't finish school, but I did the things in school that, people say you're supposed to do. I remember I pledged, and after I pledged, I remember I just went through a really rough time and ended up not finishing school. And I like isolated myself from, it's still hard to talk about if my eyes are getting juicy, but I isolated myself from almost the world because I felt ashamed. I was like, dang, I let down my parents. I let down myself. I let down so many people. Didn't foster relationships because I just felt like I'm not worth, I don't deserve anything now. Because it's like people put all this strain on school that if you don't finish or if you decide not to go, you kind of feel like you're beneath people.
Yeah.
And so I went through that for a really long time. And it really was a waste of my time going through that, because now that I get to the other end of it, it's like, everybody has their own journey. So if you are in a position like this right now where you're struggling in school, you don't have no money, you eating imaginary hot dog sandwiches, I will say that.
You trying to get a ride.
You trying to get a ride.
You waiting for your next date. I remember okay, I would go on some dates. I was getting the meals and the dates and going to the club. Because I had a stressful week. I want to drink and I want to eat, but that is not in my budget. who is it gonna be?
Mm-hmm. But yeah, I just wanted to say, like, looking at you, looking at myself, if you guys keep working towards whatever it is, even if an idea keeps failing, keep pushing, baby girl or baby boy.
And try again.
Because it's going to happen. And then when it happens the way that you want it to happen, it's even better.
But you just kind of have to stay with it. What have you had any experiences where maybe somebody you dealt with or dated when you were broke, things ended and you see them like more recently? Do they treat you the same, or do you feel like they treat you a little different if you come back into contact with any of them?
I feel like they definitely treat me different. I can only really relate it to like the men that I've dealt with. They definitely treat me different. It's like you were disrespecting me, and now it's like I'm almost like, whoa, like. You trying to just give me the world, and not even in a romantic way. Just pull up here. I got you on everything. It's like, yeah, but when I really needed you, you didn't
I couldn't even get a phone for phone.
And now you ready to like lay out all these things, ask me who I need you to connect me with, to give me, you want to help book us a show here. But I look at people like, no matter how broke or how much money I ever have, the type of person and the people that know me know this, I don't play that fake shit for real. I am okay and totally open with helping people when you are down. You got me. If I feel like helping you and I believe in it, I'm gonna help you. Whether you got money or you don't. And I would never, it's just like, I feel like now I look at some of the men and I'm like, y'all was kicking me when I was down. And it's almost like you enjoyed it. It's so odd to me. Like the men that want to help you when you got it, but when I needed it, you didn't.
Right. And it's like, what do you think you're about to get out of this? Because I can tell it's about you. So what is it? You're not getting shit from me. Absolutely not. Because I'll never forget that. And it's like, sometimes you forget like the details of situations, but you will typically remember how somebody made you feel. And if you made me feel less than or whatever, or sometimes worthless at times, it's like, I'm not going to forget that. And when I do, like, we'll joke about broke niggas and not needing to date, but I mean, that is true. I didn't need to be dating. I needed to be working on me and doing better, and I would have skipped out on some of the mistakes that I made or not accepted less than I really deserved if I had been thinking with a clear head. But dang, I lost my train of thought.
Don't you hate when that happens?
Dang, I was about to be on a roll too.
And
I had a message.
As the train's getting lost, you're talking and you're like, no, where are you going? Where are you going?
Yeah,
Where are you going?
I'm lost. Oh no, I've derailed. Well, point is, you just gotta make better decisions in your dating life. And if you do have to take a break from dating, that's okay. You're not really gonna miss nothing, because listen to the stuff that we talk about, we dealt with when we were broke. Nothing came from that.
And then if
nothing good.
The niggas always come back.
They do, exactly. I was broke then, and now I'm not, and they're back. You don't want them anyway. And I think that everybody, I don't know about you, but when I'm having money problems, that also, it's like being hangry. It does not feel good. Things just aren't going well in life. And how can you ever put your best foot forward with somebody when you stressed about how you about to pay this bill, or how you're going to pay this anything? How are you going to eat? How are you going to get to where you need to go? Ooh, remember when 400 used to be a toll?
No.
When I first got here, it was a toll.
Really?
Yes, you were here for that.
I don't think I was on this side of town that often. I don't think I was getting on 400 too often.
Okay. Well, going to, like, maybe if you were going to Sandy Springs, it would be like you would be coming from the city and going north.
Okay.
Or coming from like Alpharetta and coming back. Anyway, there was a toll. And I remember I was working a temp job, and I didn't realize that it was a toll. And they ain't taking no cars at the toll. I had like no change, no nothing. I had to pull over and search my car because I needed that 25 cents or 50 cents or whatever. I've never really been a cash person, but then it's like, bitch, you are not about to have to run the toll to get a ticket. I did it. I found a quarter, but I was like, whew. Because what was I going to do? Because I probably didn't have $20 to pull it out of the ATM, and you can't turn around. Like, what you going to do? That was just a flashback. That was pressure. It's just like, traffic is over here. I just want to go home. I barely got gas. I don't have time to be idling on the side of the road. My car might not make it.
You ever, I want to bring this up too. When you were broke, were you ever around like, because also when I lived in Miami, I was broke. When I first started being a flight attendants don't make no money. Even though I worked private, it was like, you not making no money first when you start working. So I was out there real poor. But a lot of the girls that I would meet, they weren't. Well, they were whores, but like they still had like, money and stuff. And there was one girl specifically, she wasn't a whore, she was a businesswoman, but she didn't know I was broke. And she would always want to go to like all these lavish spots. And I would be like, dang, I don't want to like not go because again, I'm trying to network. This is the type of person I want to be around. I have to go. I would try to clean off my little dusty heels, like figure out like a little hairstyle, try to put on something that didn't look like cheap. I mean, it was, and I would really be out trying to just like fake it till I make it little, you know, when your heel is gone, it's clicking. It's like,
yeah, you got to get the tap replaced.
But I didn't get the tap replaced. It was just gone. I was just out there scuffling around, looking like a little dusty sister.
I used to hate when that would happen when you already out. It's like, I promise I didn't leave the house with my heels this busted.
I did.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I did. And like, I think she knew it though. We're still friends, but we ended up like, she always wanted to do all these things that I just couldn't afford to do. Like,
would you ever say like, I really want to go, but girl, I don't have it?
I ended up telling her that. And she was like, oh.
That was it.
It's like, she was like, oh, I'm so sorry. Like, she was like, well, she just stopped inviting me to things. And I get it. I get it. Because some of the stuff she wanted to do, she would just end up paying for it all because she didn't have no friends. And I'm fun to be around. She wanted me to come. But I was like her little broke friend. I get it. Like, we're still connected to this day. But like, she, like at that time, she was driving a Porsche. She had a thriving business. Like, I get it. She was like, when we could go out and do something cheap, she would invite me. But if it was like lavish and she had all her bad bitch friends around, I just couldn't go. And I get it. It's not your time, sis. Get it. Focus on something else.
You need to be doing something else besides being out with us. We've already figured out our plan. You get back to yours. Yeah.
But have you ever been out with a group of women that kind of are intimidating? Because that's what she was to me. I was a little bit intimidated because I didn't have money.
I don't think I would go. I can't think of a time where I went with some girls that were like my friends. I've been with friends of friends, and it's just like everybody is dressed in like the most expensivest shit. And it's just like, here I am in my basic stuff. And it's like, don't invite me out with them again. Because y'all are trying to bust down bottles and all of this stuff. And I thought niggas was going to be here. I can't pay for this. Oh, wait, we're also, y'all, this is something that you need to say before we get here, because
but they don't say it because they all got it.
Yeah, and it's like, I can't hang out. And so I learned, who you going with? Oh, okay, well, no, I'm not going. Maybe dinner, but probably not, because y'all do too much at dinner too. And I don't want to be But even now, I will, if I'm inviting somebody and I know that they don't have it and I extend the invite, I don't mind saying to say, I got you. Because I like doing that for people. And sometimes I wished, not that anybody owes me this, by no means. But sometimes I wish the people who I knew had it like that, especially if it wasn't really yours or you was doing some scammy shit. Well, why didn't you help me? I really just be wondering, like, why? What was the reason? Were you just being selfish, or you just like, bitch, you didn't do the scam, I did, so oh well for you. Yeah, I'll do it for somebody else. But what were you gonna ask me?
I was gonna say, damn, it was a good. Oh, this is what I was gonna say. It wasn't even a question. It was like, it's funny that we're talking about this because it was like, we did those things. You didn't go out. I went out and was still just trying, because these were people that I wanted to know, and I'm glad that I still do know them. But it didn't make me mad. And it makes me think about the broke niggas today that be mad that you can't date who you want to date. Just keep trying, young king.
I knew I couldn't go out with the friends that was doing a lot.
But they be mad. It's like, you're mad at your situation. King, get out of it. Like, don't come get on here ranting and under the pictures mad because people want more and have it. Just keep trying. You'll get in that circle bitches you trying to take out. And
probably
smash.
not, but you don't have to yell at the bitches you can't get because you can't get them. It's like, it frustrates me when I see the guys on the internet who are commenting and like trying to make people lower their standards or lower what they want or whatever, to make the woman, because usually that's who it is, to make the woman lower things so that they can seem attainable to them. But it's like, first of all, this is all on the internet. So you could imagine that you can get whoever you want. You just need to go play imaginary friend and get out of people's comments being rude because they want something else that you can't get. It doesn't, and then even when people are expressing what they want, it's not necessarily an attack on somebody who doesn't have it. It's just not a match. Get over it. When people get mad because somebody wants somebody with money, why do you care? Especially if you don't have any. You're not even in this conversation.
Right.
What the fuck?
And I'm at the age now where, like, that requirement, when that's all you want, I mean, like, I have my thoughts on it. But also, it's like, I don't need you to preach. I'm not preaching to you about how you should look for other things. If you just want a rich nigga, then okay, that's what you want. The end. Cool. Yeah. I'll be here for you to cry on my shoulder when that nigga cheating. But, like, you know what I mean? It's like, One of my friends, she's making bad decisions, and another one of my friends was like, don't you think you should tell her? I was like, no, we're in our 30s. I'm not your Oprah.
Yeah, and then sometimes it's like, you gotta let the people make their own bad decisions and come through it. And if they are your friend, just be there as much as you can in the end. Because they're not gonna listen. And then y'all both gonna be mad.
And you disrupting my peace at this point. That is your life. As long as it don't spill over into mine, do your thing.
I have learned to just keep it cute and put it on mute.
And I learned that at a very young age. We took that first trip to Houston. You remember?
Ooh. Yeah, that was my first time ever going to Houston, I think.
I think it was mine too,
We
maybe.
took like a road
like
trip.
alone as a, like, we weren't
grown-up.
adults, but like, yeah.
Baby adults. We were in college. Yeah, that was a time.
We really known each other a long time. That's crazy.
I know, right? So many phases, so many different eyebrows. When you sent me that picture, where were you at your mom?
I was at Sharina's.
Oh,
Even
okay.
Sharina, I went to junior high with Sharina, high school with Sharina, college with Sharina. That's wild.
Crazy. Yeah. Well, it was a picture that Medina sent of me. I'm not putting it on the screen. You guys, I had no eyebrows. I don't know why I got so happy
That
with
was the
arching.
style, though.
It's not cute. And I just wonder who looked at this and said, this is what we're going to do. We're going to have pencil thin eyebrows again.
Salinas. I think it was anything for Salinas because we was trying to be like that. Anyways, we're going to move on to Indecisive Diane. And when we come back, we're going to read a few advice letters.
Would you stop thinking about what everyone wants? Stop thinking about what I want, what he wants, what your parents want. What do you want? What do you want?
It's not that simple.
What do you want? What do you want?
Hey ladies, it's me, Diane, and this week I have a super cute date idea. So there's a place in Atlanta, it's called Crafted Creation Studios. From Wednesday to Saturday, they do luxury candle making classes. There's a DJ, there's drinks, it's a lot of fun. This is a great date idea for a new bae or an old bae. Try it out. Bye.
We're back from Indecisive Diane, and it is time for advice. If you have a question that you'd like to ask us and have us read on the show, please email us advice at cocktailspod.com.
I think it's so funny that we have this great, serious episode letting them get to know us a little bit more. And then this advice letter says, I like women more. Help me out. Back to sex. Okay. She says, hi, ladies. Boy, oh boy, where do I start? I'm a 25-year-old woman and ready to meet the one I may grow with. Oh, are you? I am highly attracted to women and would love to have a wife one day. The older I get, the more I realize my needs aren't being 100% met by women. Maybe it's because I have yet to meet a woman who's ready and understands solid foundations. Excuse me. Men approach me every day, and I do find them attractive mentally at times. Really? The thing is, like,
Right.
she said mentally. I at least thought she was just going to say physically. The thing is, I feel super incomplete with men alone. I feel as though if I were to marry a man, I would one day want to fill that void with a woman. I never feel this way with women. When I am with a woman, I never feel like I need a man. Here's where my problems lie. My partners are super opposed to me being a lesbian. I know if I find the woman of my dreams, I may lose my parents. Ooh.
Oh, my parents are super opposed.
Oh, what did I say?
Partners.
Oh,
I was like, well,
okay,
who
so
you dating?
my parents are super opposed to me being a lesbian. I know if I find the woman of my dreams, I may lose my parents. And I'm okay with that, honestly. I love them, but I will not live for them. 1, how do I go about this next chapter in my life, pursuing women with my parents or in my family dynamic? Do you want to answer them one by one? Or you want me to read through them?
We can answer. I would say like you said, you're living for you, not for them. I don't know how to tell you to go about this because it seems like if they're super against it, they're not going to come around and you'll just have to hope that one day they will. I don't know what to tell you. I mean, I'm also not a lesbian.
Yeah, I am not a lesbian either, but I feel like with anything, you have to make your own decisions. I remember when I decided I was leaving school, and when I'm not going to say this is like telling my mom I'm a lesbian because I don't know what that feels like, but it was a hard conversation. It wasn't something where I was just like, I'm going to tell her. And what she said, she was mad. I remember my mom saying like, we're not going to help you with anything. And I couldn't believe that she fixed her lips to say that to her child. My mom doesn't speak to me like that. She's trying to say she don't remember saying that, but you said it.
You know how they do that.
Yeah, you said it. And so, but with her even saying, so she was like, I really want you to think about what you're doing. I thought about what I was doing. This is my life and my decisions, right or wrong. And so you kind of got to go through it with that. If you want to be happy and have a happy life, you got to make them hard decisions and you got to see it through.
Absolutely.
The second question, she says, it is really hard finding a natural woman ready for the next level. It seems like women these days want things initially that are superficial.
They probably still broke, bitch. You 25.
Y'all in y'all's early 20s. You don't know what you want, ma'am. I want to find a love who wants something real. Where can I find a healthy, both physically, spiritually, and mentally 30-plus-year-old woman with good intentions of marrying another woman? Maybe find a matchmaker. These types of things. It's funny because people like ask these questions and it's like, I mean, I've done it too. When am I going to find the one? You ain't going to find the one till the right one just comes along.
Morning.
Yeah. Crying.
I was looking at Portia's wedding pictures again and I was like, where is my king?
It's a sad feeling to be feeling that, but you got to believe. You got to believe. Say it with me. You got
to believe what? That it's going to happen?
You got to believe that it's going to happen. That's one. I remember one year my sister sent me a Valentine's Day present because she always used to send me gifts. She still will because I was sad and wondering where my man was. And she was like, I just love how you continue to give out this love as if you haven't been, your feelings haven't been stomped on and you're not sad. But you got to keep pushing, my guy.
Keeping on, yeah.
You do. You don't give up.
Now, where you can find these women who are ready to, why do you want to settle down? Ask yourself that. What is it about it that you want? And maybe when you figure out what the reasons are, maybe you'll have a better insight into where you might find like-minded people. I don't know, but you need to start doing some things. You know what? I saw a lot of ladies at, I don't know if you're into cooking, but I took a cooking class and I noticed there were lots of friend groups who were there, lots of single women. Now, I don't know their sexuality, but lots of single women. And they always talk about being single. So maybe like activities where it's like partner activities or group activities and you can go and maybe if she's with just a friend, you might
maybe try your local meetup app. I was out at Tribeca one night and there was a group of all these people, but they were all together. And I had asked them, what are y'all like? Are y'all on a family reunion? What is this? It was a lot of people. They were like, no, we're all on a meetup app, and everyone's like single and mingling, and they all are in the meetup. So look up Meetup. It's called Meetup in whatever your city is, and you can pick different groups. They probably have a lesbian group. They have a Yorkie group.
Oh, you know, it'd be a good one. Probably maybe like a charity or something. Hear me out. Maybe a charity that helps young kids or just people whose parents maybe have disowned them because of their sexual identities, right? And they're there, but they're working there. They're not like receiving the services. That's a caring person who really cares about them. They probably want to settle down too. I would think they'd be there. They're not the ones at the clubs all the time.
And their parents disown them?
Well, not their parents, but they work at a foundation that helps, right? So maybe somebody who is doing something like that, because you're going to get your caring mentally, whatever he was asking for, I forgot. Somebody who, is open to a connection. I don't know, girl, because I'm not married.
I'm not either.
And
by the looks of it, I'm not rushing to it because that's when your relationship goes downhill. Okay, number 3. Lastly, why am I going back and forth between both sexes when I know in my heart I want to build a powerhouse with a woman? Woo! What you do for work? I mean, you better be successful talking like this. I feel as if I entertain men because the outcomes of life would work out more realistically with them, family, leadership, etc. However, I don't want to be a 30-plus-year-old with one day resenting a man and divorcing him all because he can never be what I want.
Then you need to stop dating men. You are not bisexual, I don't think. I think you are truly a lesbian, and that's okay. I think you probably date men because you're probably thinking about your parents and your family and that whole idea that they're going to disown you, and maybe you could just go down this more stable path. You're going to be cheating on him, and you're going to be like that lady we had a few weeks ago who was writing in about cheating on her wife and cheating on her ex-husband and flip-flopping back and forth. The people don't be happy doing that. Don't end up with a man knowing right now at 25, even though you could change your mind, that, he's not what you want. You know that. Leave the men alone.
Just leave them alone, girl.
Who is trying to get married at 25? That is very...
Well, she said, side note, I want to let y'all know, I hear from people all the time that I should not want anything serious right now. However, these are the same people with messed up lives and no plans for their own future. I have my own. I'm at my prime, and I'm ready to get it rocking. Thanks for the advice in advance, and I greatly appreciate it. But since you said that... But even since she said that, I have my own plan. You do have your plan, and you don't want a man in it. So stop.
Exactly. And your plan, you need to realize it also involves another person. So you do need to be more open to changing your plan. Your plan isn't to be a single woman for the rest of your life. And you don't want to be 30 plus years old feeling however. So girl, you've got to give yourself a little grace and some time, because just because you're ready at 25 doesn't mean that somebody else has to be. Some people are trying to figure out their lives.
And some people are just living their lives. I had so much fun in my 20s. I mean, I know we talked about being broken but I still...
There were still fun times
There was still
in there.
a lot of fun times. And so I think that it's really important to live that out, because then you get on the other side and you in your 30s married and sad because you didn't live life.
Okay. Or you fuck up your whole life and you start doing the things that you should have done at 22. Now everybody's looking at you like, man, you are 42
at Compound,
getting drunk and getting carried out. What is going on? You were supposed to do that already.
You hitting me up to come. I am at home with my grandkids reading books.
Not during compound hours. Well, good luck, girl. I hope you find who you want to find. I don't really know what to tell you. I hope that the age range that you're interested in is really wide. Next one. Should I get the dick or nah? I love you guys and the show. Keep doing y'all's thing. And I'm going to the live show in ATL for Valentine's Day. I might bring one of the dudes in my advice letter, actually. Ooh. Anyway, let's get started. So I've been messing with this dude, let's call him D, for about 6 months, and it's going good. We aren't in a relationship. Neither of us wants one at the moment, and we really have been taking our time fucking and building a friendship. Okay. We've been pretty transparent when we talk about us fucking other people, etc. Recently, we both had an STD scandal. Thankfully, it was nothing serious and we good now. We were both fucking other people off and on in the summer. After that BS, currently, we had a talk and both said we were only fucking each other and how it really wasn't worth the BS because the people we fucked wasn't worth it. He asked me what I want from him. I told him I like what we have. I don't mind exclusively fucking you, but I don't want a relationship right now. He said he doesn't know what he wants either. Fast forward to the present, I'm going home to Michigan for a month and I've set up plans with this boy from college I used to fuck with. He's a Scorpio like me, so you know the sex was bomb. He was the first dude to ever make me orgasm. Girl, laughed my ass off, let's call him Scorpio. Me and Scorpio were supposed to meet up and rekindle some things earlier this year before I met D, but since he lives out of state, I never got back to setting it up. Since I'm going back home, I decided now is the time. But the problem is D wants to visit me while I'm in Michigan. I really have no problem with that and am actually excited for him to come. The issue is he told me after I made plans with Scorpio. I feel like I wouldn't have made plans if I knew he would even suggest coming. I really don't want to have to hop on dick after dick, especially after me and D just went through that STD scandal. I usually get tested after each partner. Wait a minute. We just read this one.
We did. Wait, I think I highlighted the wrong one.
Okay.
Just go to episode 324 and read that one. I was like, why do I know her?
I was thinking, did she write another letter? God damn, this bitch is going through it. Okay. Gucci goo. Lord.
That's advice or a cocktail?
Is this? I thought I was at advice. Oh, this is cocktails. Never mind, y'all. Trick. Hello, ladies. I am a big fan and listen to you religiously. I'm about a month away from legalizing my divorce. Congratulations. We were together almost 7 years married and for almost 4 and have 2 kids. I knew from the beginning that I shouldn't have married this man and that he wasn't my soulmate. You hear this? First advice letter? I know. Shake your head and roll your eyes. And did. The thing is, I was at a place in my life where I was ready to settle down and start a family. I thought my husband was as good as it gets. While the marriage has brought me my greatest gift, which is my kids, it has also brought me some dark thoughts and moments and realizations about myself. Fast forward, and I'm about to start a new job for the first time in 5 years since I have stayed at home with my kids, move out into my own apartment and just have some time to be free, explore myself, and stop depriving myself of the self-care I have needed for so long. I'm wondering your opinion on when the right time to start dating is. Also, I must add that I am craving the touch of a man. Not just the touch, actually. You see, I have never really had an orgasm with a man, and I am 33. Bless your heart. Sex has felt good, but never what one would describe as an orgasm. Lately, I have very vivid sex dreams to the point where it wakes me up. When I feel like I'm coming in the dream, I want to make my dreams the reality. I am questioning if it's appropriate to do so and how to even start meeting men. Nobody except my soon-to-be ex-husband has seen my post-baby body. Let's just say I have a little more curves than I used to, so I might be nervous going into being physical with someone. Sorry this is so long, but would love your feedback. Realize my name is in the... Okay.
I think the best time for a woman to start dating after she's like divorced is like when you're ready.
When you feel like it. It sounds like you feel like it.
So
and
just
you're
do
not
it.
It doesn't sound like you're looking for serious. You're looking for serious pleasure. And it's lots of that running around. You just need to find somebody, chat them up. Now, this is an advice where I would suggest you do just meet somebody out because you're not trying to have anything serious. Find you somebody who's physically attractive, right? Because that's probably going to help with just setting everything up since you're not going to have a strong connection with them. And get to flirting with them. Like Carlos said when he was on here, they already seen what you look like.
Right.
And so if you got a little extra curves and all of that.
They don't care about that.
They really don't.
They
They're
really
gonna hold
don't.
on to it. I have a few hoe friends, and they have lots of extra body and stretch marks and saggy titties and all sorts of things, and they be getting their walls bust down, so it's fine.
When I look back at some of the girls that I found out my exes were cheating on me with, like the girls they had extraness too. So I don't think niggas care.
I don't think so either.
You'll be fine. It's you that's making it an issue.
And so you just have to get more comfortable. Maybe while the kids aren't there and you're just walking around the house, walk around naked and look at yourself in the mirror and get used to looking at yourself and not always trying to hide it. And just, this is your body and this is who you are. And you have beautiful children, I'm sure, because of it. And these are just your, what did they be saying? Little war wounds or whatever they be saying. I don't know.
And if you find somebody in Atlanta, the right one might get you a BBL.
Yep, tummy tuck, whatever you need, breast lift, any of that.
Be gone. Now you...
Or any city, really.
Yeah.
Really. Hopefully they can give you an orgasm too. Also, I'm wondering if you masturbate at all, because you were talking about your dreams, but you didn't really say like you've had an orgasm by yourself, but never with a man. You said you've never had one. I think you should get some toys and play with yourself because it's really hard for somebody else to figure out what it is that's going to get you there when you don't know. And you got to play catch up, sis. You're 33.
Yeah, and then also when you do start having this new amazing sex, it's okay to tell them what you want and how to do it. Don't be embarrassed.
Or that you want to try it. Like, I think I might want to do this. Let me see how this feels. And you should start telling these niggas, I've never had an orgasm.
Oh, that does work.
Even because they're going to try hard. It's going to be like, what?
And then to also say, like, it's okay if you don't give it to me. Most people can't. So it's no hard feelings.
Then it's like, they're going to be like, excuse me, what? Because you know they think they're all great.
Yeah. And you're like, it's okay. You're not going to do it, but...
Keep trying.
You
Good
look
luck.
good. You're cute. Keep smiling. Okay. Now we are going to move on to...
But if he ain't got a buck, I won't cup him. Spend 100 on me, it ain't nothing. Run a double D, so stuffing. Back to the point. Is it some cash in this place? If it is, I'll probably see the stats in your face, turn around. Once upon a time, not long ago, I was a
To the CockTales. Okay, so I have the first one. It is titled Liquid Detected. Hey, ladies. I just want to share a quick cocktail. I enjoyed the New York show and the Huntsville show. Come on.
Thank you.
It was so much fun. I brought my husband, and he was asking if we could make a cocktail before the show in the bathroom. Ooh. But I said, nigga, I am not going to jail. This might be a little too long. But anyways, we decided to make one when we got back home. Look at us inspiring folks. I have been thinking about the dick all day. When I got home, they said, let's take a shower. I want to make a baby. He wasted no time in the shower. He pinned me against the shower wall and started kissing my neck while grabbing on my hips and thighs. He moved his hands down to my now dripping wet pussy and started to play with it. He started kissing and sucking on my titties while I moaned in his ear. I orgasmed right there. He cut the water off from the shower. Both of us were soaking wet. He said, let's go to the bed. I must have been taking too long because he came and got me, ripped my towel off my body, and threw me on the bed. Then proceeded to devour my pussy and my asshole. He's not shy about that tongue and where to put it. At this point, I was damn near begging him to fuck the shit out of me, and he obliged. He pulled me to the edge of the bed and slid that dick in. I let out a gasp. I promise we got to almost every position. But when he flipped me on my side and hit that spot, I squirted all over the bed. He smiled and winked at me. We took a break, ate dinner, and then this nigga had the nerve to make me mad. At first... Did I read that right? He had the nerve to make me... Okay, yeah. At first, I was like, ain't no round two. I'm going to bed. That's me. However, my inner slut was like, finish him. I went to sucking that dick like it was my full-time job. Did the nipple play like Medina said, and everything. I wanted him to tap the fuck out. When I was done, I hopped on top and teased him a little bit by rubbing the tip against my wet-ass pussy while kissing his neck and whispering, you want it, daddy. His moans turned me on more and more. I flipped around and rode him reverse cowgirl. The more he moaned, the more I gave him until he couldn't take it anymore. He grabbed my body, put me on my back, lifted my legs, and fucked me missionary until I squirted all over the bed again. When we got up, I realized my phone was on the bed. I tried to plug it up to charge it, and it said, liquid detected, unable to charge.
Ooh. I hate when that happens.
Sheets, that happened to you with squirt juice?
Not squirt juice, but I was making a video in the shower.
Oh. After we changed the sheets, we sat in the bed with the blow dryer and a bowl of rice trying to dry my phone out. Hopefully we will make another one next time with toys. I love y'all. See you in the 2023 tour sent from my iPhone. I love that. Thank you so much. I love the married cocktails.
Me too. It's just like, it gives hope to the other people that write us. It's like, my husband ain't fucking me or my wife didn't suck my dick.
Mm-hmm.
Just try something new. Tell her to listen to an episode. We're out of time for this episode, but thank you guys so much for everything you sent in. Thank you guys for your continued support. Make sure that you sign up on Patreon, purchase the game, purchase your tickets to the live shows. We can't wait to meet you guys. Visit us on Instagram too. We are at CockTales Podcast. I'm at Kiki Said So.
I'm at Coffee Bean Ding.
And until next week, you guys, goodbye.
I'm sorry, but the person you called has a voicemail box that has not been set up yet. Goodbye. Bye. 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 Population. Goodbye. Bye. Bye. Wait on the drive. Bye. 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 Goodbye. Bye. 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 Population. Goodbye. Bye. 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 Wait on the track. Wait on the track. I'm sorry, but the person you called has a voicemail box that has not been set up yet. Goodbye. Bye. 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 Population. Goodbye. Bye. Bye. Wait on the drive. Bye. Bye. Bye.